there's an A-lister that's bigger than Diddy that's black.
And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Did he have a casket ready for her before she even got sick?
Ice Cube has just pulled back the curtain on Diddy's shocking secret life and how many major artists he has been sleeping with. This will shock you.
Lost contact with him and really stopped, dealing with Puffy around 94. Yeah.
Any specific reason?
Yeah, I mean, they was doing their thing, I was doing mine. And, I'm not the partying type. You know what I mean? I ain't never been to a Diddy party. I ain't never really wanted to go. But I don't go to a lot of people parties. That just ain't what I'm in it for. You've been to one, you've been to them all.
And the interesting part is that he's not the only person to do this. Jaguar Wright, a figure known for her controversial statements about the music industry, has made a series of shocking allegations involving high-profile celebrities like Usher, Jay-Z, Diddy, and others. These claims touch on alleged exploitation, manipulative behavior, and harmful actions that she argues have been overlooked or silenced in Hollywood. Jaguar thinks that if a victim were to come forward against Usher, it would challenge many public perceptions. She claims Usher played a significant role in bringing Justin Bieber into Diddy's inner circle, which she describes as deeply concerning. Allegedly, Bieber's management tried to shield him from Diddy, but she states that once Usher was involved in managing Bieber, temporary guardianship was allegedly granted to Diddy for a brief period.
These are good people!
And if Usher knew what was going to happen to any of those young children that he took to the Flavor Free call, is he a good guy? Especially considering what happened to him. Especially considering that he sat with fucking Howard Stern, and Howard Stern said, "Would you send your kids to Puffy's Flavor Camp?" And his immediate response was, "Hell no!" So it's good enough for everybody else's kids, but it's not good enough for yours.
He's not good! And the simple fact that fucking Justin Bieber literally made a public statement and said, Usher asked me to do the Super Bowl with him and I turned it down. Why would he turn it down? Who turns down the Super Bowl?
This, she suggests, exposed Bieber to unsettling experiences.
I feel violated right now. Wow.
Just lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
My parents never gave me the sex talk. Okay. So why don't you give me the sex talk? I feel uncomfortable right now. Oh. Why do you want to know the sex talk from a 15-year-old boy? That's pretty weird. Oh. Let's talk about the album.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Videos of a young Bieber at Diddy's parties have recently resurfaced, raising questions about his treatment during that time. In one clip, Bieber appears uncomfortable as Diddy confronts him about not returning his calls.
So these videos of Diddy with Justin Bieber when he was only 15 years old are resurfacing, and the one thing that I want to ask is, why was a 40-year-old hanging around with a 15-year-old? Why did no one think that was an issue or a red flag? And also, listen to what he says in this clip.
They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you want to do? What you want to do over the next 48 hours?
This is literally the definition of grooming, and Justin, who was only 15 here, he was new to the industry and definitely very impressionable. Now that all these new allegations of Diddy have been exposed, it makes watching this video so much more disturbing. Now, this next video of Justin Bieber with Trey Songz and Odell Beckham years ago at one of Diddy's parties is questionable. I'm not going to say anything, but you let me know what you think you saw down here.
Wright and others interpret this as part of a larger pattern of manipulation involving young stars. Bieber himself has alluded to the difficulties of entering the industry at such a young age, describing feelings of isolation and betrayal. Diddy is at the center of Wright's accusations, which include claims of manipulation, intimidation, and exploitation. Wright alleges that Kim Porter, Diddy's late partner, discovered disturbing videotapes involving him and young individuals.
Kim was there the entire time, the whole way. Everything that she collected, it wasn't for salacious. It was because if anything should ever happen to her, she wanted everyone to know where to look. Like, everything that she did was a flashlight to say, this guy is dangerous.
Is there anyone, or that you're aware of, who suspects foul play and disputes the official finding of this lobar pneumonia?
Yes.
As far as her cause of death?
Everybody. I have questioned it.
Everybody.
I'll be sure has questioned it.
Every human person.
Kimora has questioned. I'm talking about people who are directly attached.
And everybody outside of that, I think.
And everyone has said it. Everyone knew it.
Everybody.
Bring us up to speed.
The simple fact
what are
that
the
her
main
gold casket was pre-ordered and ready for her demise before she got sick. Why does no one talk about that? Why did Diddy have a casket ready for her before she even got sick? That casket was waiting, ready for her corpse.
Let me ask you this, aside from that,
he passed away.
Very specifically, and Counselor Ariel, you will know this. Who was it who actually conducted the autopsy? Was there any follow-up? A forensic pathologist a la Michael Bodden?
That man is now deceased, and his findings were foul play.
The original, and then they had it go.
They're coming.
Welcome to downtown Miami. And then they had somebody else come in and determine it to be pneumonia. But there were two coroners who made reports at the time. The first was suspected foul play.
No longer with us.
Right.
According to Wright, Porter made copies of the footage for her protection, but mysteriously died from pneumonia shortly after. This was allegedly similar to how Jay-Z got rid of Kathy White.
It's a lot of precarious circumstances.
By the way, that's the same coroner that gave the findings, the real findings to Brittany Murphy's dad. The same coroner that uncovered foul play with Kim, uncovered foul play with Brittany after her father demanded it be done. I'm sure they wanted him gone. I had a very interesting conversation with someone today before you guys went live, and I'm kind of a little distracted by that because of the topic of that conversation. It was Kathy White.
Okay. Can you expand on people, for people who have lived in a rock most of their life or lived under a basement like I have? Can you just expand on some of the names when you bring them in, just for those who may not know?
Kathy White is the alleged pregnant mistress who died of an imaginary aneurysm just a few, 2 terms before Blue Ivy was born. You want to know the thing that most people don't understand about me, Ariel? I don't have a problem with facing my enemies. I don't have a problem with being around my enemies. Matter of fact, I engage with my enemies probably more than I do with the people that I love in my life. See, I'm old school. Keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer.
Could Diddy have learned it from Jay? It's possible. The tapes reportedly included encounters involving Diddy and young male artists, as well as an unnamed 18-year-old pop star. We recently had a lawyer come out and talk about something that was eerily similar. Could it be the very same tape?
I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
the shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow, can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No, I
tape.
can't explain who the person was, but Mr.
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video. And I can tell the video is pornographic in nature.
Oh my, all right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, did he? And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping, like they're being surreptitiously recorded it.
Beginning to sound very familiar, no? Wright also references the culture surrounding Diddy's infamous parties. Celebrities like LeBron James and Trey Songz have spoken positively about these events.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
But Wright interprets this as part of a larger system of power and control. She alleges that these gatherings were not only exclusive, but also served as environments where boundaries were crossed, especially with young talent. Candace Owens and other commentators have echoed some of Wright's claims, suggesting that certain figures like Jay-Z, Diddy, Kanye West, and LeBron James are part of a powerful network controlling Hollywood and the music industry. Owens and Wright both point to the reluctance of victims to come forward, attributing it to fear of retribution and the overwhelming power held by these individuals. Wright's accusations definitely show us a pattern she believes exists in Hollywood, a culture where exploitation is normalized and power dynamics are used to silence dissent. She references Wendy Williams' past commentary on homo thugs, a term describing closeted gay men in hyper-masculine roles, as an example of the secrets she claims have been hidden within the industry for years. The footage involving Diddy, Usher, and Kevin Hart captured a moment that left many viewers puzzled.
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it. You did.
No. I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, I don't want it to come close to the bed, at all. Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Fresh off
the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like that's how. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early and now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
what the f did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes. And we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was stupid. Listen.
We're having a good time, yo. Your Usher made it in the... Hey, yo.
In this clip, Diddy allegedly made a strange comment about having slept with Usher, sparking further speculation about Jaguar Wright's claims regarding the music mogul.
Kim was one of the first girls who was brave enough to get tapes and get what she needed to get.
You understand? This is commerce. This is bank exchange on flesh and pride and ego. Tamika knew she could get Usher because she had evidence of what he was doing with the diddler. And guess what? Rather than going to the police and doing the right thing when that boy drowned on Lake Lanier, Usher did nothing for his stepchild. Matter of fact, I know for a fact he paid money to have that investigation shut down. And there has been talks that she was willing to sacrifice her child to get ahead. Now, don't forget, not long after that, she went into the coma. You remember she's in the coma? Because she got banished off. She had to get that plastic surgery cheap. She did. That's why she went out of country. Because she was told over here in the States that nobody would perform that ceremony. It was too dangerous for her, that surgery. It was too dangerous for her, and that went somewhere else. She kept going until she got somewhere with it, and they fixed up real good. And guess what? Not long after that, her and Usher was over. Yeah. Wasn't no love there. It's blackmail.
Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, weighed in on these controversies during an interview. He discussed a lawsuit involving a man named Lil Rod, who had made allegations against Diddy. Deal speculated that Lil Rod might be trying to shield himself from legal consequences, while also hinting that their interactions were consensual.
Yeah, that is weird, man. I never knew about that, man. You never told me about that, man. But to get back to this lawsuit, right, Lil Rod, he also alleges that, Diddy, he will grope his genitals and he will grope his anus.
My man, I didn't understand that one right now because his penis is your asshole. His genitals is his nut. So I guess he had to be naked when Puff was doing that. Where was he at? What was he doing? Because he said that they never had sex. If you read it in the thing, they never had sex. He made claims that they never had sex, but how would he grope your anus? Your asshole. How would he play with your genitals?
Yeah, it don't make sense. I mean,
it don't make sense. How you wake up butt the F naked with two other men in the bed with Diddy and nothing happened? I think he was just trying to save face, man.
But do you think it's a possibility that he meant that, Diddy will grope his, butt, instead of anus? I mean, because I'm trying to figure out how does that work, somebody groping your anus.
You're going to say your butt. The lawyer would say, what do you mean? He would say, my butt cheeks. There's a such thing called butt cheeks. Your two cheeks. He said anus. The anus is the asshole. How did he get that far? Lil Rod, you gotta say no to Diddy sometime. No, that shit ain't funny, man. But you gotta say no.
So from you reading the lawsuit, right, you feel like he had relations with Diddy?
When me being a former investigator, I think Lil Rod was trying to save face on certain things, that he had somewhat of a relationship, or he was doing some things with Diddy that he didn't want to really come out in that fashion. Because there's no way that he gonna wake up and his anus is hurting and his genitals is all over the place and he's in the bed after being drunk or and saying nothing happened. And you think that Diddy gonna be in the bed with 3 other men and nothing happened? It doesn't sound logical.
Deal also shared a story from his time working with Diddy. He described an incident where he accompanied Diddy to an adult bookstore in Atlanta that ended up leading to much more.
but it all started, we was in Atlanta. And this story starts when I'm with Puff and he's in the exotic bookstores and he's doing shopping, right? He's shopping, getting his stuff and everything like that. So, you know, this is the first time I was ever in an exotic bookstore with Puff. So, you know, I'm giving him his space. He's taking things off the shelves and stuff like that, because they gave him a brown paper bag. When they gave him a brown paper bag, he was just putting stuff in there. So I said, damn, you know, he got to go put it on the counter and, you know, show everybody what he's getting. So as he going, I'm just looking at the places where he picking stuff from. So there's one part he picked up some things from up here on my left side. And then he picked like quite a few of them down. I'm like, okay. He put them in the bag. So when I went by there and I looked up there and it said butt plugs. And I was like, hey, yo. I was messing with him. Because people don't understand, you know, we was like friends. He was a part of the same gang. So I'm still gonna tease him. I'm still gonna mess with him and everything like that. I could do that. It wasn't just no security thing. So I say, yo, what are you getting this for? And it said butt plugs, and he was like, yo, can I do my shopping by myself? I said, yeah, you can do it by yourself, brother. And he started walking and everything like that. When he got to, I just waited at the counter. When he got to the counter, he didn't even have to show the guy nothing. He just gave the guy a wad of money. I mean, like, he gave the guy a stack, something like this. And Puff wasn't the dude that carried no 20s and no 50s and nothing like that. And I mean, like, he just said, boom. And we walked out the store. So we had to leave Atlanta and go to North Carolina for a show.
The narrative then shifted to a trip to North Carolina. Deal recounted how Diddy, a rapper, and two women shared a room in a hotel suite. At one point, a man claiming to be the rapper's cousin showed up and demanded entry into the room.
It was him, this rapper, Sarah, and this other girl. We all got on a G5 jet, and we flew to G4 jet, and we flew to North Carolina. So later on that, I think that afternoon, same day, this rapper and him, they all in the room together. You know, it's Sarah, the girl, Puff, and this dude, this rapper. So I'm hearing at the door and stuff like that, like, yeah, so then next thing you know, somebody rang the doorbell. We had the presidential suite where we was at. So I opened the door and the dude said, yo, I'm here for my cousin. I said, who your cousin? And he said, Ja Rule. I said, well, he busy right now. He said, he busy doing what? I said, he with Puff, they're in the room, they busy, they don't want to be bothered. He said, well, I'm going in there. I said, bruh, you ain't going in there because he told me they don't want nobody to be bothering them. He was like, yo, I don't care, man, I'm going in there. That bull like that. I said, yo, bruh, Jesus Christ had to come down here and take the air out of my body before you get in that room right there. Watch. He tried to bum rush me. I grabbed him and threw him against the piano. When I threw him into the piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked. And so then Ja was like, yo, what's going on? Yo, Gene, that's my cousin. He know me well, you know, and Puff was like, yo, Gene, what happened? I said, he tried to get in the room. I told him he couldn't get in the room. And he was like, Puff looked at Ja. He said, yo, Ja said, you ain't want to go in that room because there's a lot of freaking going on.
Diddy has been in the spotlight a lot lately, and it has some people wondering, what happened to his former assistant, Farnsworth Bentley? Where has he been? Bentley, whose real name is Derek Watkins, has stirred up some curiosity online as Diddy's personal and public life faces scrutiny. Interestingly, Bentley hasn't been active on social media since April, as one user on X pointed out. His recent Instagram posts are also pretty low-key, mostly featuring memes, quotes, and old performances by other artists. One person on X said, "The person I want to hear from the most is Farnsworth Bentley. He and Diddy's dynamic looked rather interesting, to say the least." Another added, All these Diddy stories are coming out. Somebody get Farnsworth Bentley on the line. That's who knows the real truth. Bentley was once a regular fixture in Diddy's life, frequently seen by his side and even appearing on reality shows like Making the Band. Given their past closeness, TikTok users have been speculating about what Bentley is up to now. Some have even broken down his career while wondering why he stayed out of the public eye for months. Maybe Jaguar Wright was right about him? While Bentley has remained silent, others from Diddy's circle have been more vocal. Freddie P., a former member of Diddy's group Da Band, shared some strong opinions during a recent interview on The Art of Dialogue. He made some serious accusations, claiming that Diddy is gay, and surrounds himself with people who either accept or tolerate that.
Oh, but yeah, with Puffy, of course, I think he gay. I think everybody around him gay, and I think you don't get to stay around him unless you've proven that either you are with the shit or the shit don't bother you. There's not a man that I could see Diddy hanging around that I don't think he ever at least tried. He's not being your friend. I love you, daddy. He's not like that. He's not like that. Puffy don't have a friend. Puffy didn't grow up with nobody. He don't love nobody. You deserve it, daddy. And he know what he was doing. That's kind of like when you have a sex with somebody or whatever, or kind of like one of the people in that community. They trying to spray you to everybody they could on the low. Like, we know, as a straight man, we know when they're trying to tell us that they're sleeping with somebody. They gonna give you attitude in front of the homeboys, cause they know, I don't give a fuck, like, they gonna give you one of them, cause y'all share beds together. They don't care that we know no more. It's choose, nigga. They get the same attitudes that women get. So, if you ever been around Puffy to me, and your best friends or brothers are hanging and all this other stuff, and I'm not saying nothing wrong with it. If you are, you are. But yeah, you either took part in some foolery, aided some foolery, enabled bad behavior, or have your own ghosts, have your own skeletons that he allowed to, I'll do this while you do that. We all good. We don't give a f. This is our world.
Freddie also mentioned Bentley, reflecting on their past.
Puffy, it's an addiction, turning people out. That was his addiction. That was his addiction. He didn't. There's plenty of people that he could have. It was his addiction. Y'all don't understand. I look at Bentley and all these people. Come on, man. Now that we know the monster. Man, you carried the man umbrella. He was the man. I watched this man disrespect you every chance he got. Talk to you like his bitch. He talked to Harv like his bitch. He talked to D-Dot like his bitch. He talked to all them niggas like they his bitches. And now that I learned that they really were his bitches, that's why I got so much respect for Gene. Cause a lot of them niggas is scared to do what Gene doing. And people like us don't fear no nigga, man. Like, we don't fear all that fake image you got, because I know it's a nigga like Gene that's making him look like he look. And then I'll see a nigga like that as in, I don't fear. I don't care. Like, I come from that. What the people that protect him, I'm used to that. I smoke with that. I chill with that. I hang with that. We get along. It's him who not used to us. Puffy not gonna really have you around if you not, unless you family. He not gonna have you around if you not with the shit. I think Fonzo was his little girlfriend at one time, because you have to see how they was conducting themselves. I don't want to say that about Benny, because Benny got kids and shit, and I got respect for that nigga. Like, he was one of the few niggas I fuck with. But the way they used to carry themselves back then, and plus he had put something on his Instagram. He put something on his Instagram like 4 or 5 months ago, and he was like, "Don't let me tell my story," or some shit like that. I heard they fell out because of he was stealing or something like that, whatever. But Nick, you hang around a nigga who don't want to pay you, giving millions of dollars away every night, acting like he can't pay you on time, wanna fill your butt, all this weird ass. You gonna steal from him too, nigga.
Adding to the conversation, earlier this year, Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, claimed that the fallout between Diddy and Bentley might have been because Bentley was caught stealing.
You got a lot of people, man, that's wondering why Farnsworth Bentley, you know, why he hasn't came out and defended Diddy. You know, they was real cool at one point, you know, so.
Well, I was there when Farnsworth Bentley got his actual name. How they came up with the name and everything. We were sitting in front of the apartment building on 74th and Park Avenue. It was me, him, Tony De Niro. Puff was upstairs. They was trying to figure out, he had became Puff, one of Puff's personal assistants. You understand? To make sure all Puff shit is there when we get ready to go. Everything that was supposed to be in order. That was Farnsworth Bentley's job. When Puff has to go to restaurants and places like that, you know, he made sure everything was straight with that. You know what I'm saying? And he had another assistant too. But Farnsworth Bentley was his personal assistant, put out his clothes, told him what he should wear, all that, like a stylist and personal assistant all together, you know? So we was in front of the house and this dude, Tony De Niro, he played guitar in that Bad Boy for Life. The black dude, not the white guy, the black dude who played the guitar, that's Tony De Niro. I think he might be from California or something. So Tony De Niro was like, yo, we gotta think of a name for you, man. And if you're gonna be his personal assistant and slash butler, slash umbrella carrier, whatever you gonna do, you understand? We gotta think of a name for you.
Meanwhile, Diddy's infamous 2014 birthday party for Meek Mill is back in the news after a video of the night resurfaced. With Diddy now facing allegations of sex trafficking and abuse, Meek Mill seems to be distancing himself from the music mogul, especially considering his history with Diddy.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Dawn Richard, a former member of two groups formed by Diddy, was reportedly absolutely terrified of him, according to her lawyer. In September, Richard filed a lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of threatening her life and subjecting her to years of mistreatment.
They have NDs, non-disclosure. That means that if you work for them, you around them, you can't disclose any of the information about them. It's the same thing that he gave to all his artists when he gave them their publishing back. I'm gonna give y'all publishing, but y'all can't talk about Janice Combs, Justin Combs, Sony, Bad Boy, or anything that happened. Y'all can't talk about none of that. But there's some artists that didn't say anything, that didn't sign it, and they able to talk about anything they want to. And I think that's those girls that was, I think Danny Combs. I think a couple of them didn't sign it. And boy, oh boy, they probably gonna go after him too. Cause I heard him, and I'm giving you this, Aubrey. He stood up there and he said in front of a lot of people, we were in the studio, and I said something to him and walked out the studio. He said, yo, I'm gonna drug their ass off and pick them out and pimp them out to my nigga. He said, I'm gonna drug them out. I'm gonna get them all on drugs, and I'm gonna pimp their ass out to my nigga. And I was like, there's somebody kids, and walked out. And there's somebody that heard me. It's somebody that heard me. I mean, well, it's not only somebody that heard me, it's somebody that I know who was in the studio at the time that happened, and I still talk to him today.
It gets a lot worse than this.
Talking about that the other day. He done moved back to Indiana. I don't know why. I'm gonna give you that one. He said he was gonna drug them all out and pimp them out.
And that's not the only horrifying thing Gene Deal can testify to when it comes to Don Richard.
Yeah, you might be right about that, man. I mean, I believe you, man. But you heard about what Dunn put in this lawsuit about Diddy? She said that she saw Diddy and several men run a gangbang on his assistant at a hotel pool in Scotland. You heard about this?
My man, if she witnessed, and she's saying that she witnessed a gangbang, which actually we know it as called a train. And she worked on the album, The Train to Paris. And like I heard one of the YouTube, it could be Tistel, say that we didn't know what the train to Paris meant. But now we know that the train to Paris was a train in Scotland, according to Dawn. It wasn't a train in Paris, it was a train in Scotland. Now, only time I ever witnessed Puff doing something is when 2 guys and 2 girls would go in the room. And that was just regular. And however they did it, whatever they did, that was their business. But he gotten bold enough, whereas that he would do that in front of Dawn and other people at a poolside in Scotland. You sure it was Scotland, man?
Yeah, that's what she said, man.
Scotland, Arizona, but not Scotland, the country.
Nah, she talking about the country, man.
Wow. I just think that, you know, man, you got to go back to the and the alcohol, man. The drugs and the alcohol, man. And those things that make you do strange things. And for somebody to just gangbanging an assistant, she might have a lawsuit now too. She might have a lawsuit too. Because you can't do that to people that work for you, bro. You can't.
Yeah, it's eye-opening, man, looking at this lawsuit that Dunn got against Diddy. She claiming that he'll remove her from songs and turn off her mic when she's performing, when she'll turn down his advances.
Those are things that she's gonna have to bring up into the lawsuit, that Diddy stopped the way that she was working and how she could work.
The charges against Diddy are serious, including racketeering, sex trafficking, and fraud, with his trial set for October 9th, 2024. Ashton Kutcher has a right to be alarmed if he was doing things with Diddy, Deal stated, hinting that Kutcher's close association with the rapper could be a reason for concern. This comment surprised many, given the public perception of a friendly relationship between the two. Deal also questioned the timing of the legal action against Diddy. Why didn't they stop him then? Why did they wait till 2024? He asked, suggesting the authorities had been aware of Diddy's actions for some time. Deal mentioned he hadn't yet been contacted by either the defense or prosecution, but believed he could be called upon soon. During the podcast, Deal expressed doubt about whether Diddy would cooperate with authorities, noting that the rapper had been under surveillance for more than a decade. He suggested that there might already be recorded evidence of misconduct, in particular about relations with minors.
You made a comment, right, saying that you knew someone that went through Jimmy Hinchman proffer agreement for a drug case. And the proffer agreement revealed that Jimmy Hinchman, he could have walked away if he would have given up Diddy. What you mean by that?
Well, what happened is that they had 9 different sessions with Jimmy Hinchman regarding his proffer agreement. So that means the feds went in there 9 different times to talk to him. And in those sessions, they asked him, what do you know about Sean Puffy Combs or Sean Diddy Combs. I don't think it was Puffy at that time. It wasn't Diddy at the time. But what do you know about Sean John Puffy Combs having sex with underage boys? And you got to realize, and people never think about this, that Jimmy and his brother, I think they had the same charges. But his brother walked away from that, and Jimmy gets life without the possibility of parole, I think. Which is crazy. For any charge. Nobody should spend their life in jail for drug charges. And just drug charges. But I think they try to tie him to some murders or something like that. I don't know that to be for sure. But he shouldn't spend his life in jail for no drug charges. Not at all. So, but they was gonna let him walk. If he'd have probably had to, for that proffer agreement, they probably let him walk. If he had any information regarding Puff having sex with underage boys. That the feds asked him in 2011.
Deal also shared a story about a past outing he attended with Kutcher and Diddy at a Mets game, highlighting the close ties between the two. He further mentioned a group he called the Brat Pact, implying that other well-known figures, such as Leonardo DiCaprio, might also need to be cautious regarding their association with Diddy.
Remember they used to have that group called the what do they call it? The Brat Pack? With Diddy, him, and a couple other guys was hanging out. Leonardo, one other guy too. I forgot the other guy's name. So, they all might be worried.
For him to come out with that comment, I mean, that is suspect. It sounds like he's worried that Diddy might give up some information.
That's why. That's why he made that statement. To set it up. To set up the atmosphere that, yo, this guy's gonna lie on us. This guy ain't gonna tell the truth on us. But what we know is that wherever Diddy went, his tape recorders went. His camera equipment was working. He was videotaping everything. So they might have that videotape already.
Right. Yeah, out of curiosity, have you had any kind of contact with the feds?
I have not spoken to a prosecutor. I haven't spoken to anybody connected to what is happening right now with Brother Love, Diddy, Sean Combs, and none of that. There's no reason for them to speak on me because when I spoke about stuff about Sean Combs, it was stuff that happened personally to people around us, and there's nothing that I said that could be deemed criminally that could have got Sean Combs into jail. See, that's what people want you to think, that I've said so much that it's the reason why he's in jail and the prosecutor got him. But they can't tell you what law that I said that he broke, or what did he did illegally to get him in jail.
Meanwhile, Diddy's legal troubles continue to escalate, with 5 new lawsuits accusing him of drugging and sexually assaulting both men and women. This is not looking good for Diddy at all, and it looks like it's about to get a lot worse.